to the unlent is also important. And there could be areas where forward linkages, quality assaying is important. So I think from the government's point of view, and it is the government's responsibility to lay down the infrastructure which will be used by everybody. And I think the private sector is dynamic enough to pick and choose what areas they want to work in. And that is why I think we should focus, from the government side, we should focus on these 3-4 basic building blocks. Have a robust farmers database, a land records database that is married to the farmers database, and a digital crop database which will be accessible to everybody. Have ecosystem that will allow different players to plug into this and use it. And like she was saying, the ecosystem, especially the startups, should start looking at insights as their wealth rather than the data. So far, I think it has been the data which has been the basis, but since the data protection bill is now a bill, so they must start looking at insights as their contribution rather than the data. And I think that will open the field for many sectors to come in.
And are you convinced on the farm insurance use case?
Yeah, so why not? Everybody is... See, for the farmer, my take on this is this. Having spent 2 years in agriculture, I think farming is one of the most risky business we are in. Okay? Every year, in each crop cycle, farmer faces production risks, weather, crop, pests, okay, and marketing risks. Okay, and if you want farmers to go into niche crops, go out of assured crops like paddy, cotton, okay, then the risks get manifold. So I think a robust crop insurance model is the key. But what would the farmer want? He would want a farm-wise, farmer-wise insurance.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, he will not be willing to pay insurance if the entire village is burnt. He wants, if my house is burnt, I want insurance for that. And we are yet to come out with models which work for this. Many of you would be aware, Bengal has come out with a model which is entirely technology based, where they have a crop insurance thing which is based only on crop health parameters, and the need for human intervention to do crop cutting experiments has been reduced drastically. So we are actively studying that model, and hopefully Telangana will come out with its own assurance model for this. But I think more than insurance, we should also keep in mind that Telangana has invested in increasing the resilience in the agricultural space by ensuring irrigation, by ensuring assured power supply, by all the other policies that we have put in. I think we have increased the resilience of the farmer in farming. Insurance is going to be one part of it whenever, if and when it comes. Yeah.
No, actually, congratulations to you and KTR Garu for the work that you've been doing in agriculture in Telangana. So wonderful. Soma, if you can take 30 seconds, I want to go to the audience as well. But quick thoughts based on the technology platforms that you guys are working on.
I think I agree with risk. In my opinion, there are two types of risk. One is the market risk, the other is the yield risk. Anything that we do on the, for example, pest management is actually about mitigating risk due to pest infestation. In terms of the white areas that I say is, of course, these DPGs and solutions exist, but we need national scale kind of DPGs. What I mean is, if I'm looking at pest and crops, they must be available across pan-India. Somebody mentioned about the crop type estimation, right? Even the same case. We work with Dr. Murthy at National Center for Crop Forecasting. It's the same problem. It can vary from geography to geography. So national scale, high coverage, highly reliable, very specific APIs, I would call them. Give me a lat long, tell me about that particular location. It's about crop type, soil records, weather records. I can even give a window range, with respect to time. I think if you can focus on those very foundational, fundamental, high coverage, highly reliable APIs, we can solve many problems on that topic.
I agree. Thank you. Thank you so much. Can we go back to the audience? Yeah. All right.
Hi everybody, Nitin from Synergy Connect. Actually, whatever problem we discussed, we have a similar model in place in Maharashtra called e-Peak Pahani. Actually, Peak Pahani is crop reporting. And in Maharashtra, they have started, we did an experiment with Data Trust. It was a 2 years pilot with 9 lakh farmers Today, the model is used by the government where 1.5 crore farmers are self-reporting crops. They're reporting water types, irrigation type.
Can we have your comments on that panel and then the topic that you're discussing? Could you
Because
elaborate?
It is solving the problem of the data which is captured, the photograph and the GeoJSON mapping becomes an evidence for insurance to have action.
Okay.
It's become an evidence for government schemes to give money. And it also becomes an evidence that if he's growing from sowing to harvesting, the photographs
Right.
becomes the first step towards giving credit because it's in different stages. So, thank you.
Thank you, Nitin. Yeah. Dedicated them.
Hello everyone, I'm Ritesh. I'm working in Siddhivinayak Agri Processing Private Limited. It's a value chain company. So I can relate to what the panel was discussing. I specifically want to pinpoint on three things. Government data which is published on yield is published a lot after the yield has got consumed also. So as a market player, what we invest in is, so for example, we are a potato value chain company. We do image sensing for particular location for which we want to understand the production of, if the area has increased or not. So if government can do it during the cultivation period and release it on a pan location basis, so a private company or even an FPO or private sector or a farmer can understand how much the yield is going to increase or decrease. It's a real time rather than post-mortem. We are actually acting on the data and taking stand and, in terms of market. That is something. This is a digital public infrastructure that can be created at a government level. B is
Very quickly.
okay. So B, in terms of increasing resilience, changing variety is something which is very much essential. Every variety have a different cultivation practice, but the extension system needs a digital public infrastructure. Most of us are launching our own apps, but frankly, these apps are only for investors.
Yes.
Farmers are
Yes,
not using
yes,
that app,
yes.
right? So what digital infrastructure can we use for training farmers? Third, last point, is that in Assam we are actually doing P2P, peer-to-peer lending. We have tied up with Rangde and we are doing peer-to-peer lending 6% per annum. That we are able to enable farmer who otherwise wouldn't have grown potato, because potato is a high cost of cultivation. But now they are growing potato and giving us back. So that is one thing where I can relate that in terms of political thing, the politics works where there is an existing knowledge, but the white spaces is something even the politicians, by the time they understand what is going on, a startup can or a policy can actually evolve and work around quickly.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So let me, I'm sorry, we'll have to take it offline. I'm so sorry. But let me now.
Can I make one comment?
I can't say sorry to you.
Yeah, please. I just want, it comes from a space of being humble for the marginal farmer. I have high conviction that high quality synthesis is still work to be done, but I do want to acknowledge the nudge initiative in actually having this charcha at least. And I know that many other places are trying to do it, but then this is a call for action to you guys, that, you know, let's synthesize and publish some use cases and organize around that. You know, maybe you can be the playground that we need. Yeah.
So thank you for doing that, Meghna. I was going to thank the Nudge
Sorry.
Foundation for myself. No, they need double thanks, so that's not a worry. But it's wonderful to come together. This panel, as I said right at the beginning, you guys made the right choice. We're coming here. This is standing room only, right at the end. But thank you also for being a very interactive audience. And thank you to all of you, Raghu, Meghna, Sharad, and Soma. I will not even attempt to summarize right now, but in a few days' time or in a week's time, right? Along with the Nudge Foundation, we will come back and submit a kind of a draft or a outcome paper on this wonderful session. Thank you. Thank you. Back to you.
Just one moment. We'll display the QR code here. If you can just quickly provide your feedback as well. We'll leave it on for a few minutes.